Yo, what's good? What's good? Coming back at you with another quick video from the tent. That is because I just came back from the store, did some riding, hit the road, got some miles in, and then me and the wife and my son, we went out to the nearest Euro dealership for Ducati, Aprilia, Triumph, and went to go see some bikes. And I'm actually pretty stoked, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I wanted to go see and check out finally for my own eyes, not seeing another person's motorcycle or anything like that. I wanted to go see it for myself and check it out. So we went there to local dealerships called CTX Motorsports, and I checked out the RSV4, the 2026 RSV4 base and 1100 factory, and I also checked out the Ducati V4 and the Ducati V2. Amazing bikes. There are some key things that I did notice though, that I noticed in person, and I think a lot of times some people or some of us don't really spot certain things on motorcycles, even when we're watching reviews and certain things like that. Sometimes you just got to see stuff like first person. You got to see it for yourself in person to kind of make the decision. Now, my first initial thoughts of the 1100 factory when I first saw it was, first of all, the very first thing that I noticed when I walked in, we got helped out by a guy named Alex, really professional guy, cool guy, wasn't pushy at all, very helpful, very knowledgeable. The first thing I noticed when I got in there was they had like all the Aprilia stuff set up, and my confusion, which I was a little embarrassed. It's really easy to find out or to see what the 1100 factory looks like. It says RSV4 and it says factory on there. Not hard to see at all, but I was confused because I could not tell the difference between, I couldn't really tell the difference between the base RSV4 and the RS660 and the 457. All of the bikes look like full size bikes. For some reason in my head, I thought that the 457 and the 660 looked apparently smaller than the RSV4, and I was kind of confused. And I had to ask the guy. I had to ask Alex. I said, "Hey, which one is the 660? Which one is the 457? Which one is the, is the base RSV4?" Because they had them all together, and I just could not tell the difference, especially between the 660 and RSV4. So kind of gave me a little bit of a ZX10, ZX6 feels when it comes to Kawasaki, how similar those two models look now. I just feel like they got to give the bikes a little bit more distinction between all of them. But other than that, they looked really, really good. The factory looked amazing. I was, again, shocked at how wide the RSV4 factory felt. And the regular RSV4, the tanks are very aggressive. I loved how the tanks are built, but they're very aggressive. They're very big, so the bike just seems wide, but it's still comfortable. And not only is it comfortable, it's still very light and nimble. You can definitely tell when I sat on the factory that it felt a bit heavier and a little sluggish than the Gixxer. The Gixxer seems like it's very, very light. It doesn't have that much weight, so you can tell right away that the RSV4 is heavier. I forgot to ask him how heavy it is, but my butt dyno, or whatever you want to call it, it kind of felt like it was around 400 plus pounds. Like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell, but it was around 400 pounds. It has to be. The thing was chunky. But other than that, the finish of the bike looked really, really good. It may just be this year's model, the 2026, but for some reason, to me, in my opinion, I personally feel like the natural aesthetic of the bike, straight from the factory on the Suzuki, looks more interesting than the RSV4. I feel like the RSV4, I'm not going to say they were lazy for 2026, but I just felt like they could have did so much more with the styling and the graphics. It just looks really plain, and to me, that's the only put off when it comes to the factory, is that I'm not going to say it looks unfinished, but to me it just kind of looks a little blah, a little boring. I just feel like if you see that bike and you don't know Aprilia and you just were to see that bike, you wouldn't be too impressed right away by the looks of it. That's just me, because it looks very, very plain. Now, fast forward when we went over and took a look at the V4, baby. They didn't have any V4S's in, but they did have the base V4 and like 2 of them. The first thing I noticed about the Duck from across the room is that it's a beautiful bike. I was very hard on that bike when it first came out because I thought it just looked completely different than all the other Ducatis before. I didn't like the reset. But seeing it in person, I was just like blown away. I was very blown away because it looks really, really pretty. It looks good. It looks like a very finished bike. And in my opinion, I feel like the S1000 looks like that, like the BMW products look like that. Ducati has that presence, that finished presence, that polished look and feel to it. I fell in love with the V4. And then I sat on it, and the first immediate thing that popped into my head, and the first thing that I asked Alex as soon as I sat on it was, what's wrong with the seat? I said, hey, what's wrong with the seat? I had to get up, and I pressed on the seat, pushed on the seat, touched on it, and it felt squishy, but as soon as you sit on it, it felt like I was just sitting on the tank. And I was like, man, this seat's so hard. He's like, yeah, the seat is not the most comfortable. And I was like, yeah, like immediate, it like cut to my ass bone how stiff and hard it was. I was just like, this is crazy. So if I know if I get this Ducati, I would definitely need another seat ASAP, because that seat is terrible. The seat on the RSV4 felt pretty decent, felt pretty decent for just like sitting. I have a sneaky suspicion that both of those bikes, after riding for about an hour, your butt cheeks are going to be finished. Other than that, Ducati looked really, really great, man. My only other concern with the Ducati is the only exhaust that I like for the Ducati right now is I love the finished look of like the V2. Has the undertail exhaust, and they had one like that, and it just looks so beautiful, man. The V2 is so nice. But the V4, man, I really wish that it had an undertail exhaust, and the Akrapovic, or whatever you want to call it, wasn't so expensive, because it's super expensive, and I just can't really see spending $6,000 on a freaking exhaust. Like, with my mindset, I would buy that bike and I would probably never change the exhaust, because I just don't like the underbelly models for exhaust for those bikes. I'm not really too keen on it. It's not my first choice. I prefer undertail, but I don't want to pay that kind of money. Now, for Aprilia, I feel like Aprilia comes in the sweet spot, because they have different options for Aprilia as far as the exhaust as well. And you can get a shorty, you can get a slip-on. You don't have to get the full, you don't have to get the full system and spend $6,000. So there are some options there that I like. Now, I don't necessarily like all the options for Aprilia as well either. I don't want to go super shorty Moto GP22 or whatever they call that shit, the little shorty slip on. It's too loud. I'm not trying to be loud, like super crazy loud, so that wouldn't work. So it would probably have to be a full or Acura or something like that. I'm not sure yet, but got a little bit more options that I like with the RSV4. Other thing that I noticed with the RSV4, getting the base model, you're going to pay about $20. If you go ahead and get the factory, you get the full electronic suspension. You get all of the good goodies as far as the electronics, what's available for electronics, as far as like the maps and stuff like that, versus if you get the base V4, you have to pay for that. You have to pay for those little upgrades if you want them, especially like the software and stuff like that. Not a big deal, but it just seemed like the total package that you get with the RSV4 factory, you get the forged rims and all that stuff. It just seemed like a better value versus the Ducati V4, because with the base Ducati V4, you do not get full electronic suspension. You get the Showa suspension, which I'm used to with the Gixxer. Not a big deal there, but again, you're spending that extra bit of money. You know what I mean? It's like you're paying the what you're going to be paying for the 1100 factory, right? What you get for that, you get all that value for the same price as getting the V4 base. And with the V4 base, you're not getting all that same exact value. So it's a little bit different. It's a sacrifice. Is it worth it? I'm not sure yet. But what I do know is that the Ducati was super nice. I love the finish on it. It looks stunning. It turns heads right away. Whereas to me, the Aprilia just kind of looks a little more generic until you get close up and you start to look at it and you start to see the details that are nice. But still, even being super close up to it, I still feel like the premium finish was with the Ducati. I just kind of wish the Aprilia would go with a little bit more higher end finish touches. I think it would make the price that you're spending with the bike seem a little bit more fair, and it doesn't seem so generic. And I keep saying generic, meaning like when you go and you look at a Japanese bike, you know, there's a lot of them out there. It would just be nice to see that when you see an Aprilia, you kind of get the same astonishment when you're looking at a Ducati. Like instantly when you see a Ducati, you know that it's different than any other thing that you've seen. And I kind of wish Aprilia had that same presence, like right out the gate. But to me, it doesn't. But I would have to say that the 2026 is probably the best, to me, in my opinion, the best looking model RSV4 that they've ever made, period. It's more refined. It's not as super bulky and just big looking. So you can definitely tell the different approaches between the Ducati and the Aprilia. And then somebody had the Gixxer up there as well. So you kind of got to see all of them together. And you can really tell how slim and compact the Gixxer is compared with the V4. The V4 is very compact and slim and aggressive, versus the RSV4 where it seems kind of chunkier. And you really get to see the size difference between both of those bikes. It's actually pretty insane. But I will say that sitting on those bikes immediately, I felt more comfortable on the RSV4. I felt like the thought that I had of it being too big, too fat, was completely dispelled once I actually got onto it and sat on it and got to, you know, roll it around a little bit. I feel like it is the perfect bike for me in terms of everything, the value and everything. But I do feel like if I ever did get that bike, being out and about around, around other people, I feel like the Aprilia is not going to get that many looks compared to the Ducati counterpart, simply because the Ducati to me is just way more recognizable and almost like an instant fan favorite. You know, I always called the RSV4, I always called the Aprilia the ugly duckling when it comes to the Italian bikes, because I just always felt like they're very focused on the action of the bike and, you know, how it races versus the aesthetics. And I feel like Ducati has that in spades. They have the racing down and they have the aesthetics. Hard to beat them. So I feel like the prices that they charge for the bikes are, you know, that they command for those bikes are pretty reasonable based on the finishes. And like I said, it's immediate when you see them together that the Ducati has the better finish. So, I'm not exactly sure yet. I did go with the wife, and it was funny because I kept asking her which one. And she's just like, none of them. I'm not endorsing any of it. But she liked the Ducati better. She definitely liked the Ducati better. But yeah, so no, I did not buy a bike. No, I did not buy an RSV, and I did not buy Ducati. I just wanted to see them in person and kind of ask more questions and kind of make that decision in my head, like what would I rather drive off in? What would I rather be seen on? What, you know what I mean? Like what, at the end of the day, what is, you know, what's necessary and not necessary? What is a want versus a like? I do love how both bikes, I believe they both have cruise control. I believe the Ducati put cruise control on there. I could be wrong, but I think the V4 base does come with cruise control. I know the RSV4 does have cruise control for sure. They have it for sure, but I'm just on the fence. Like, I love all the options that you get with RSV4. Like, again, if you go with the Ducati V4, the base, you're not getting the forged rims, you're not getting the electronic suspension, and you're getting that at the cost of a RSV4 1100 factory, which has more. The V4S, in my opinion, that's like 40 grand out the door. You get the, you'll get the forged rims, you get the electronic suspension, but it's like 40K, dude. Like, it's just wild to me. I don't think the V4S is where the value is. In my opinion, I think the V4 is probably the best option. But you gotta have some tweaks, gotta make some changes. RSV4, I felt like it was more complete. I felt comfortable with it. The only thing that I would want to do is an exhaust right away and a tune. That's it. Same thing that I've done with the Gixxer. When I go 520, I don't know if the Aprilia, I think the Aprilia is already 520. I think the V4 is already 520. Could be wrong, but other than that, there's just not much I would change. Besides the exhaust, honestly. I would probably do some stacks. That's probably about it, man. I don't feel like you need to do anything to these bikes to get them to go 200 miles an hour or anything like that. Just need basic air filter, tune, and an exhaust, and that's it. I'm good with that. I don't need to do any engine work. I don't need to do anything extra. But it was good to see the pricing, which is still to me a little outrageous. Seeing the pricing versus the value that I already get with the Gixxer, it's just like it makes the decision much harder, because it's like, these are the things I get with this bike, these are the things that I would like with these other bikes, but is it worth paying the price at the end of the day? I don't know yet. So I got some thinking to do. I got some decisions to make, what direction I'm gonna go, which direction I'm gonna stay in. But it made me definitely feel a lot better to see something in person, to go over those details in person. It makes the decision a little bit easier when deciding what to do next. So what I did know and what I did realize when I left is that I'm not missing really anything from my Gixxer 1000 when it compares to those two bikes. Those two bikes are just literally wants, meaning that they have things that I want that I don't have with the Gixxer, that I really want them, but I don't know if I'm willing to pay a premium to get them. So anyways, done talking your heads off. It was a great freaking experience. Really cool. So anyways, I don't know what we're going to do next, but we're going to figure it out. I love you guys. Appreciate all the support. Make sure you go visit Cloth and Craft, get some gear, visit House of Joseph, get some gear. All those places are now on one spot on the main website at House of Joseph. Go check it out. Make sure you get some gear. It's good stuff. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.